Let's wait for everybody to kick in here. There we go. Hey, everybody. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. My name's Mark. This is Catfishing Crappie. Let's see who's in the house today. Today we have Ace Catfishing, Andrew D. Andrew D doesn't look familiar, but how you doing, Andrew?
That is my brother.
That's your brother?
That's my little brother. That's the one that comes fishing with me in a couple of my videos. He's our boat record holder.
Oh, perfect. I see Avid out there, Betty Jean out there. I see Hey Lyle from Catfish Crappie. Elston, Chunky, how are you, my friend? Chad's out there. Half Crazy Catfishing. Hello, D, how are you? John Patrick III. Kevin Baker. Maurice Carson, thank you for checking it out, buddy. Michael Morello. One Ton Fishing. Palmetto, hey, Kevin, how are you? Papa Ed. Tirador Arco, I hope I say your name right, my friend. I was seeing here. Ace, if I forgot to say hello to you. Brandon, how are you? I saw Betty in here a little while ago. Hopefully she'll pop back in here. Oh, there's Betty. How are you? All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. I'm dog sitting tonight, so you guys finally get to meet Woodrow. I figure I'd let you see him before I put him down and he disappears. So, all right, now he's going to go cause trouble till my wife gets home. If you guys hear barking or something, that's her. All right, real quick before we get started with Jeremy, I'm going to go over what happened this week in catfishing. Earlier this week, Lyle had Catfish Weekly with guest Skip Stewart. That was a real good show. Muskrat Adventures had an awesome show where he showed you how to save money at Walmart. I'm not going to tell you his secrets. Go on and check out the links in the description to the show. Lots of good stuff there. James over at Patriot Catfishing Fishers of America had Chad on there. They were talking about the tournament and such. On the Fishing with Chad, or the bait shop on Fishing with Chad's channel, he had Kayak Mike. Also, Chunky Elston had some live stream fishing. I have links to all of those episodes from this week down in the description. I also added a link to the couples tournament. So if you guys want to know any information, if you haven't checked it out, or if you want to, actually it's links to watch it tomorrow. So it'll be there, and I'm sure Chad will have links to the next day. All right, folks, so let's introduce our guest, Jeremy Dufour. Is that how you say it right?
Dufour, just like you spelled.
Dufour from Creole Catfishing. We've all seen him in chat. Very nice guy. He was always very friendly to everybody. And I ain't going to lie to you, I love Louisiana. I worked there for...
I'm talking about...
I worked there for a while when I was a young man in Lake Charles, Louisiana, when I used to work in the oil business. Met a lot of good people. Always wondered what it'd be like to move down there and fish down there. I never had the opportunity to do that.
It's hot.
It's hot.
You move down here, you come fish down here, it's hot.
I remember that, Jeremy. I remember it being real hot. I don't know if I could stomach it too much. Like I was telling you in chat, my wife would always ask where I'd want to move, and Louisiana was one of the spots I'd like to, and she just says it's too hot for her. She says that, and she worries about that little dog and alligators down there eating her dog. Maybe she's watched one too many episodes of one of those shows on the History Channel. What's the show that Swamp People? She watches that all the time.
Swamp People. That show was filmed mostly gets filmed about 2 hours south of where I live.
2 hours south of where you're at?
Yeah, it's not very far away. I mean, you go, I'm not gonna lie, you go in any body of water with any little bit of size, it's gonna be ate up with alligators. We do have them a lot around here. Every time we go fishing, we see some. The little ones will get curious. They'll come by the boat. You know, I guess people feed them off the boat. I don't know. They're used to that.
All right. Looks like we got some people checking out links. Katie's in there. Hello, Katie Collins. How are you? Joe Buck 66. How are you, my friend? Trying to keep up with people as they come in. If I miss you, I apologize. Oh, they're home. If you guys hear some barking, forgive me. We got my wife just came home. So tell me a little bit about yourself. As far as fishing goes, where you got started, what you enjoy to do.
Well, probably like everybody else in Louisiana, I got started fishing with my dad very, very young age, probably 5, 6 years old, when I was old enough to hold a little pole on a Zebco 33 or a cane pole, we went. My dad, big time brim fisherman, sac-a-lait fisherman. Y'all call him crappie, but we call him sac-a-lait down here. And just, like a lot of other people, grew up brim fishing in the small bodies of water. As we got a little older, we would graduate to going out in the boat, going in the river a little bit, still chasing sac-a-lait mostly. And we would also go to the river by the hydroelectric plant and go tight lining for goo and for catfish with y'all freshwater drum. We call them goo, but freshwater drum. We would go fishing with live crawfish. So just grown up fishing all my life. I sort of stepped away from it in my early 20s because I was busy with one of my friends working on cars, hot rod and old Fords and doing all that. And my oldest son, Gabriel, was 14. A few years ago, he really got into bass fishing. He was going fishing a lot, and I wanted to go fish with him. So ever so slowly, I stepped away from working on cars and got back into fishing a lot. And then that's when I discovered the trophy catfishing. We had run nets for catfish. We snagged for them for years at the big dams. Until 2 years ago, I didn't know there was a such thing as trophy catfishing. And well, thanks to some of the people on YouTube, we researched it, learned a little bit about it, changed our tactics a little bit, and here we are, having the time of our lives chasing these big fish in these big rivers, which we're very blessed in Louisiana. We have a great fishery, a ton of really big fish. I hate to say it like this, but it's not that big of a deal to catch a 40, 50 pound blue cat in the waters where we fish. There's that many big fish in there.
That's very cool.
You had mentioned look way better than we really are. Trust me. Trust me.
I always wonder about that. Some people, they're in really good fishing grounds and such, and other people aren't. So I kind of like to judge the fish people catch by where they're at and what they're getting. So yeah, I totally get that.
I'll be honest. If I had to go fish in some of these other lakes and places like that where some of these other YouTubers fish, I probably would never catch a fish. I'm telling you now,
I don't know about all that.
We're just blessed to have that many good quality fish where we are.
I have a feeling you would do just fine, Jeremy. Yeah, I think you'd do just fine. You did mention, you'll have to forgive me, I'm going to stop you a couple of times during the show. When you say tight lining, is that anchored up?
That's how we refer to being anchored up or fishing off the bank.
Or fishing off the back? Okay, that's tight lining.
Yeah. Every now and then you may have to stop me. I may have to spit out some kind of phrase
that's okay.
That nobody catches on to.
I'm fine with having to do that. I'm here to learn. Hopefully everybody will learn something about how fishing is a little different down in Louisiana, and I kind of know it is. Well, you had mentioned some other ways of fishing. You had mentioned like the snagging and stuff, which is in this day and age is kind of controversial, but
it is. But it was a different state of mind.
Absolutely.
We were snagging for meat, and caught some massive yellow cat doing that, which was what we call them, yellow cat. I know Betty, if she's in here, shovel heads.
What's a shovel head?
Betty,
what's a shovel head? Oh, flathead. Okay.
Flathead. My PB yellow cat of 40 pounds. Well, it came off of a snagging rod, so I don't like to count that as my PB in this community because it's not on a baited hook. I've never caught a yellow cat over 10 pounds on a baited hook.
Really? You'd think down there they'd be monstrous.
Well, they are down there, but in my experience, and we're still learning that, the yellow cat like to hang around in the heavy rocks, heavy revetment, just downstream from the big locking dams.
Okay.
And that's not an area I fish a lot. I fish more away from those dams on the big ledges where it's sand, silt bottom with some matted revetment.
Okay, so you're basically targeting blues, right?
I'm kind of.
Kind of.
We started in those areas fishing for blues. That's what we've been catching. And very soon, I'm going to start targeting more yellow cat and trying specifically to go after them because I know the big ones are in there. We see the fishermen pull them up in nets all of the time.
All the time.
There are massive yellow cat in there. On one snagging trip we made, the guy that was with us fishing caught a 55-pounder.
Wow.
And hooked him in the tail. So you can about imagine how hard
that's a fight. I can imagine that'd be a pretty hard fight.
So it was unbelievable.
When you said you seen them come out of a net, so is there a commercial industry down there for those fish?
Yeah, there is a massive commercial industry down here for catfish. A lot of the commercial guys run hoop nets, which is
hoop nets.
Yeah, big hoop nets. Now, I'm not sure why, but for some reason, the fish markets around here the past couple of years, they quit buying the big fish. Anything over 20, 25 pounds, the commercial guys are telling me now they either have a hard time selling them or they throw them back when they catch them in the net. I'm not sure why that is. I haven't got an explanation, but hey, so much the better.
It's a good thing for us, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The sports fishermen,
a lot of commercial pressure, though. A lot.
Maybe the people they're selling to is just giving them pressure about selling fish that big and stuff. I have no idea. I'm just kind of taking business.
In my experience, the quality of the meat is better when you're 20 and less. You get more poundage of meat per pound of fish when you stick to a fish that's 20 and less. You can still eat the big ones, but by the time you trim them up, trim all the fat off and clean them up, there's a lot of loss. And I think that's why the fish markets quit doing it, is because they're buying the fish
by the pound
live.
And if there's more head and
there's more money in it for them if they stick to 20 and less.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
That's the only thing I can see. That makes any sense.
I just saw Sean T Outdoors pop in, say hello. How are you, Sean? I see Joe Buck. I don't recall. Glenn's Catfish Adventures. What's going on? Very cool. Now, what about like bank poles? People still using those down there, and trout lines? Is there a lot of that going on down there?
Oh, yes, very much. You don't see a lot of the commercial guys running trout lines, and we call them bush hooks.
Bush hooks?
What they'll do, they'll find those big willow trees, big oak trees on the bank, and kind of like they fish for the alligator. They'll just hang a big line off a limb. You'll see there's a lot of fishermen that do that. Not a lot of the commercial guys stick to hoop nets because it's just easier. You get more fish per run that way. There's also a lot of people that jug fish for catfish.
I've seen some videos on YouTube. People jug fishing for sport. I mean, they'll catch them and they'll release them too, which is something that I'd want to try, but it's pretty frowned upon here. When someone sees a bunch of jugs floating down the river, they get kind of all bent out of shape. I'm not interested in keeping them at least.
Most people, the people that fish in my area, what we call Three Rivers, most of the people, when you see a bunch of noodles set out in the water, a lot of times they're after the big alligator gar, not the catfish. That's also a big thing in our area. We have massive alligator gar. There are many that are caught 6 foot, approaching 7 foot long every year.
That'll be fun. That's another one of the fish on my list is, catch a big old alligator gar. We got some little gars here in Illinois, southern Illinois and stuff, but nothing like down there or in Texas. That's something I always wanted to try. So I'm pretty interested in that. Excuse me. Very cool. So what's your boat like?
The boat I bought is a 2020. It's a Triton. It's a big John boat. 20 foot long, 72 inch wide bottom, center console. I got a 115 Mercury 4-stroke on it, and we went ahead and spent a little more money on it. We put the really nice bimini top on it, fishing in these hot summers around here.
Down there. Oh yeah.
And I built all of my own rod racks for all my rod holders, all of my mounts. In fact, I got the idea for everything I built on my boat. I directly got off of Keith's Fishing and Stuff YouTube channel.
Keith's a good guy.
Look, watching his channel gave me so many ideas for my boat. Everything I built comes directly off of his channel. You know, I'm lucky. I've got a shop. I've got access to a welder and everything else. I can build my own stuff, and we took a little time, rigged the boat like we wanted it. So now I'm not limited. I can go fish the way I want to fish now.
That's the way. When you have your boat set up right, that's the best way to do it. And a real quick side note, Keith over at Fishing Stuff, he's actually the one who talked me into starting the channel up and stuff. So I owe a lot to him. He didn't necessarily talk me into it, but he kind of, he egged me on. He coached me a little bit. He gave me some positive reinforcement.
Yeah, everybody has that one person who really got in there and convinced them to get going. Everybody's got that one person.
He's a good guy. I think, is a Laura Dufour? Is that
that is my wife, who keeps looking at me through the window, making funny faces at me and trying to make me laugh. Yeah. Look, yeah.
That's her. Hi, Laura. Yeah. Laura should come on camera, maybe.
Yeah. Well, if you can talk her into it, go ahead. It ain't she's looking at me. No. Yeah, it ain't happened.
My wife's the same way. Let's see. Roger says he likes the huge predator fish. Roger, you guys are going to be down there in Louisiana. In Alabama. Maybe you guys should take a side trip. Take an extra couple days. Go down a little further south.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'd love to come down there. Let's see what else we got in here. Remember, anybody, if you have any questions for Jeremy, just
roll them up.
I'll try and catch him up there. Maybe ask him a second time if I happen to miss him. I'm trying to keep up with him and such. So how is that 115 on fuel? That's a motor that I've been considering in my next boat, a four-stroke.
It is really, really good on gas. I have got a 19-gallon fuel tank, and the longest I've ever run it, I went on Google Maps and traced the route that I ran. I ran 63 miles in that motor, most of it wide open, and I still had 4 or 5 gallons of fuel left in it when I fueled it up the next day.
Perfect.
And that's pushing my big boat with, I think I had that day, me and my wife, her cousin, and her husband. We had 4 people in the boat pushing all of that, no problem.
Very cool. That's very good to hear. Muskrat wants to know what baits work best for you.
My absolute go-to bait is, if I can find it fresh, cut slicker, which is what we call skipjack. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of them in the river. They don't get quite as big, I think, as they do like in the Tennessee River around Alabama and all, but we'll still catch them up to 15, 16 inches long. That's my go-to bait, except for the middle of the summer when it's really, really hot. I find I do a little better on shad when the water temperatures get, I'll say, above 75 degrees. I do better with shad. Anything 75 and below, I like slicker.
It never ceases to amaze me. It's, for me at least, it's the opposite. In the dog days of summer, you can't go wrong with like bluegill. As soon as the water starts cooling off here in the fall, shad. That's what they're hitting on now, is shad. It's just so weird how
every area is different.
Absolutely.
I've gone a bunch of times trying to fish with brim, bluegill or anything else. I've caught maybe 1 or 2 fish on brim. That's about it. That's almost one of my worst baits, to be honest with you.
Really? It's different where you go, wherever you go. I mean, here's an example. I always keep a jug of stink bait in my truck, and out here I fish the Fox. And one day I was out by the Rock River, and I was trying out there with stink bait, just get some little channel cats to bring home. 2-3 pounders at the most, and that's what the stink bait is my truck for. That and like quick fishing trips. And I could not get anything on brand X. I won't mention the brand, but I went down to the bait shop, which was literally 100 yards from where I was fishing. And the guy's like, no, you got to try this stuff. He gave me a jug of this local stuff, and I had a stringer full in a half hour after that. It just goes to show you how different everything. And
every body water is different. I'm lucky. I've had some guys that have spent 50 years on the river doing what I've just been doing the past 2 years, and giving me some really good advice, how to read that river, where those fish are going to be in certain current levels. And it's helped me a lot. And that's one of the first things they told me, that unless you're in shorts, if you ain't got slicker, stay home. and I've stuck with it. It's done me good. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix it. That's right.
Nope.
Okay. Half Crazy Catfishing is asking, what part are you from?
I always say I'm from East Central Louisiana. Every other state calls it counties. We call it parishes. But from Avoyelles Parish, if you look on a map where the Mississippi, Red River, and Atchafalaya all meet up, I am 10 minutes from that spot.
Okay. I kind of have an idea. You'll have to forgive me, but I'll tell you, I'll make sure to check it out. I'm kind of going through here to see what
see everybody's talking about tonight.
Yeah, Betty says she's learning a whole new language. She'll be bilingual after the show.
I keep promising Betty that I'm going to teach her all the bad words in French.
I'm sure she'll pick those up just fine in a good way.
I know she knows the English ones.
Yeah, how do you know that?
We'll see if we can teach her how to talk a little bit of French. And look, I'll be honest. I am not fluent in the Cajun French. I understand a conversation. I can keep up. I can spit out some sentences here and there, but I'm not going to sit here and just carry an entire conversation in French. I'm not that good. Now, my father-in-law, my wife's dad, he's in his mid-60s. He had to be taught English when he was 8-10 years old. That's you wouldn't know it talking to him, but that's not his first language. When he talks in his sleep, it's in French.
It's in French.
That's as pure as you can get right there.
My grandparents were like that. Even my father says until he was here for a bunch of years that he actually dreamt in Polish.
Mm-hmm.
It said he had to be here for 20 years before that stopped happening, which is kind of blows your mind and stuff. So
I know it's hard. It's hard to imagine that.
Let's see, Shanty Outdoors.
Let's see, Lafourche Parish. Okay, but that's further south than me. I can't remember exactly where Lafourche Parish is, but I know it's further south than me.
Now, a parish, is that pretty much a county?
It is. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing as a county?
Yeah, okay. It's just Louisiana hung on to the old way of saying it rather than going to counties like everybody else did. We got to be different.
I think this is your wife. Laura says, when I'm mad at Creole, I speak the bad Cajun French to him.
Oh, yeah. And she comes fishing with me more often than not, so I can't go fishing to avoid her being mad at me. She comes with
true.
I can't. We just go be mad in the boat. That's all.
And Andrew says he's directly south of you. So.
He's looking at a map. He's looking at a map somewhere. She's laughing in the window.
So, Jeremy, do you ever use bobbers to fish? Do you float fish out down there?
I have never bobber fished for catfish. No, I have never once done it. I'll be honest with you. Every time I fish for catfish, it is on the bottom, or lately I've been doing a lot of suspend fishing. But no, I have never once bobber fished for catfish. I'll have to be honest with you.
That's something.
I want to try it. A lot of people have been doing it. It's got me curious. I'll have to find me some areas where it'll work for me. In that heavy current. I don't know how it'll work, but I'm curious. I definitely am. It's
like bluegill fishing on steroids, if you ask me. It's always fun to watch that big old float go under right there. All right. Hey, Finn Seeker just showed up. How are you, Finn? Sorry if I missed you earlier. Let's see if we have any other questions. So how long have you been doing your YouTube channel? I know it's a newer YouTube channel.
I officially started my channel, I think it's been about 9 months. I started the channel. I put up 2 little cell phone videos that my wife had shot while we were fishing one time. And I basically left it alone, didn't touch it, didn't look at it until about 2 months ago. So actually putting effort into it, I've only been doing this for a couple of months.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people on here or in the chat that have done the same way. They've uploaded stuff. just heard somebody talking about that same thing today, where they put stuff on their web before. I think it even was Dieter was saying that first he put it on there, and then he finally realized after watching some of the other channels out there that you can turn it into a channel and stuff, which is pretty cool. It's really
exactly. And I watch other channels, and every single person I'm subscribed to, every video I watch, I try to take a little piece from them, because everybody's just excels at something. I take my little pieces from everyone, and and then I try to make it into something of my own. You know, I want people to feel like they're fishing with us. I don't want them to feel like I'm making the video for them. I want them to feel like they're in the boat with us. You know, that's my goal when I try to make a video.
That's a good way. That's what I think people do. I have this firm belief that people are trying to, I don't know if you could call it escapism as much as it's just get a break from every day. And they like to do that with something that they really love. And you and I being anglers and everybody in chat, we pretty much do this because we love it. And what a better way to take a break from life.
You know, when I'm not, you know, because I only get to fish once a week, you know, and usually Sunday is my day to go fish. But the other 6 days of the week, I'm watching other people fishing, and they're either fishing in area I've never seen before. They're fishing in ways I've never seen. There's always something else to see, and it's so fascinating to see what everyone else is doing in other states all around the country. And then it's also amazing to see how similar we do everything. You know, that there's not a massive difference in what I'm doing versus than what some of the other guys are doing. It's essentially the same thing, except I've got bigger water, faster water, and deeper water on average than what most people fish that I know of in the chats. So I've got a plan for that. I've got to prepare for it. You know, it's not what I call my honey hole, which is where every one of our PBs has come out of. On average, it's 100 feet of water.
Shh. You're not supposed to tell anybody that you get them all out of the same spot.
Well, hey, no use I lie. They're going to find out one day. Anyway. They might find out for the tournament.
I'm just teasing. Yeah, they're gonna hopefully that tournament. That is coming up. So you are in the tournament, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm fishing Sunday. I'm fishing with I hope I don't forget anybody, but I'm fishing with Palmetto, Ohio Catfish Chasers, and I can't remember who else is with us. I know we got a good crowd on that Sunday. We're gonna have fun. We might not catch a fish, but boy, we're gonna have fun.
I don't know. I kind of think you guys may do all right. I think you guys are going to set some pounds to beat tomorrow. So I'll be watching throughout the day. I'll leave it run and I'll be checking in on it as what's going on.
I have a secret strategy. I'm not going to lie. I've got in fact, my brother and I, if he's still in chat, my brother and I were discussing the plan earlier today. It's going to be fun to watch. If I do what I want to do, it's going to make for a good show.
Very interesting. I can't wait to see everything unfold. I know Chad's real excited about having this too. Yeah. I saw Matt come in. Matt, hey buddy. I'm sorry I didn't get the chance to say hello to you earlier. I want to make sure I didn't miss you. Let's see if we got any other questions. They're sharing your link out there. Stan, thank you very much for sharing those links.
Stan Smith. That if it would not be for Stan, I'd probably still have 10 subscribers. I'm telling you, that guy, I cannot thank him enough for the support, the pushing, the posting my link, the talking me up to everybody. He puts the most thoughtful, detailed comments in my videos out of anybody. I cannot go on enough about how much I like Stan.
When I think about Stan, it brings a smile to my face, and it's kind of hard to see under all this fur on my face. Stan's a good guy. He's a very good person to have in the community.
Oh,
he's a great guy.
I told him, I said, dude, you are coming down here and come and fish with me. I'm not giving him a choice.
I think that's great. I'll have him up here too, Stan. When you're ready to head this way, you let me know. We'll get you on some. We'll get you on some fish up this way, and I'm sure Jeremy will get you some down there. Even look at this, Stan, you're the man. Everybody likes it. And we have so many good people that are in this chat, people that can't make it tonight. I can't say how thrilled I am to be a part of this whole community.
The whole community is amazing. I've never seen a group of fishermen from all around the country that band together like we do. You know, it is. I've never seen anything like it in any sport, in no sport, and it is absolutely amazing. Every day it amazes me. This group of people, this big family that we've all kind of got ourselves in.
Stan put this message up. Can you translate that?
Laissez bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah, baby.
Let's see what else we got here. So, yeah, tomorrow is going to be a really fun day, I think. I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm trying to get some banners switched here real quick. Yeah, all right, so what are your plans? What are your future plans for your YouTube channel? What are you hoping to do? Do you have any goals set? Is there anything that you need any help with from me or anybody in chat?
As far as the help I've gotten already, just with the support and the people, and the most important thing, that the people are watching my videos, you know, and it is amazing to me. To be honest, I don't know what my goals are right now because I kind of already met my short-term goals. My goal was simply to put out a couple of videos, you know, show off what we do, show off Louisiana a little bit, and just try to make a little name, and that's it. Not any big goals. Well, kind of done that already, so it's a little overwhelming to me of how far it's gotten already. So to be honest, long-term goals, I'm just going to keep, if everybody keeps watching them, I'm going to keep making them.
And you know what? That's the best attitude to have, my friend. I really think it is. That's kind of the way I'm going after it as well. If I can get people to keep watching, keep shooting me messages, give me support and stuff, there's no reason to stop. So, and I don't see that.
If everybody's having fun watching, hey, I'm gonna go fishing no matter what. It ain't nothing to bring the camera along.
No, it depends how much camera stuff you got. Trust me, it adds up after a while.
I don't have much camera stuff, thankfully. I would, because I'm not used to that yet. I'm not used to being aware that a camera is in my boat, and if I have too much stuff, half of it would end up in the water.
Michael Morella has a nice saying. He says, there are groups of people who choose to let their competitiveness rule them. I feel that these special people have a focus on supporting each other and celebrate the diversity. That is special. I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Morella.
It's true. Now, don't get me wrong. Especially amongst certain ones of us, there is a little bit of gentle bullying that goes on, but that comes along with family, you know.
Just Chad giving an update on Sunday. I guess it's Palmetto.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on Sunday. That's right. Creole, Catfish, Headhunters, KB Anglers, Muskrat, Ohio. Oh, yeah. That's a full house there, Chad.
That is going to be an entertaining crowd. I'm telling you. That it will not. I don't care if none of us catch a fish. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna laugh.
I'm looking forward. I'm gonna be messaging some people, starting some trouble if I can. Let's see.
I've been talking smack for a month now. I don't already started that. Hopefully I can back it up.
Palmetto's got some more French for you. Lâchez pas la patate.
Lâche pas la patate, which basically that, I don't know the direct translation, but that basically means never give up. Don't give up.
Yes, Avid seems to agree with that. Oh, here we go. Now, see, this is where it starts. Look at Sean T.
Yeah, see?
This D can outfish Chad. Well, we all kind of know that.
It's all done out of love, though. It's all done out of love. Hopefully.
Absolutely.
What?
Don't let go of the potato. That's Laura says, "Don't let go of the potato," whatever that means.
No, that's the literal translation. That's not messing me up. See, it's killing me.
There's a different meaning to all of that stuff. All right, so we went over the tournament and stuff. So tell me a little bit about. I know you chase trophy catfish. Do you do any fishing for like fish to eat? Do you keep any?
Oh yeah, we'll depending on how full my freezer and my family's freezer is. In fact, the past couple of trips we made on the videos, it was mostly small eater fish. We'll definitely keep them to eat without a doubt. As long as I've got a good little stock in my freezer, I'll let them go. But if I need a few to eat, they're coming home.
And what's your favorite way to make it?
Whew. It's hard to pick a favorite, but in fact, I did a video on it. That catfish in a gravy, kind of the evolved style gravy. That's one of my favorites. Not gonna lie, fried fish is always good. Baked fish is always good, but I like that gravy. I'm not gonna lie, it's one of my favorites. Favorite way to do catfish.
You know what I've been doing a little more lately is I've been cooking fish whole. I'd scale them, gut them.
My dad would love you. Dad, and especially because you're a sac-a-lait fisherman. For years and years, Dad had a small little lake that he would go catch them in, and they had massive sac-a-lait in this lake. A 15, 16-inch sac-a-lait was common to catch.
Oh, wow.
Well, my dad refused to fillet them. Refused. He bought a pot big enough where he could fry these monsters whole one at a time.
I have
refused to fillet a fish.
In my next catch and it's going to be my first catch and cook video, and when I get my trolling motors out of commission, so crappie fishing is kind of on hold until I get parts on Monday. But I have something that is going to be a little different as far as cooking crappie. So I hope everybody's looking forward to seeing that.
I'm always down for something different, you know.
All right, look at that. And we know that Palmetto Cats, Kevin likes that catfish chowder. That looked really good. Yeah, he had a video with the catfish chowder that looked really good. And then I saw Mike Chavez. He had made some smoked crab legs. They looked delicious. They would have been good right alongside of that. Can't go wrong with either of those.
No, I get it. You see, they're making me hungry. See, we always end up talking about food for whatever reason.
Food is love, man. We love fishing. And food is love. They go together hand in hand. I don't care what anybody says, man. You know, when I go after the big fish and stuff, they all go back, but I'm not opposed to keeping a little bit of fish as long as it's, reasonable size or whatever and within the limits and stuff. It's just where I come from, but I do consider myself, responsible, doing responsible harvest, which is all what it's all.
And it's actually Chris Souders that converted me from basically keeping everything to CPR. I know for about 3 months straight before I really started the YouTube thing, I was messaging him every other day, asking him questions, getting advice, and God bless him, he never got aggravated with me. At least he didn't tell me. But I got a lot of advice from him. He turned me onto CPR. And also something that Steve Douglas said in one of his videos got me thinking too. He said, these big catfish, these 50-pound catfish, they're somewhere between 20 and 30 years old. Well, that's 20 to 30 years worth of contaminants, that have absorbed in their body. You might want to think of that when you're eating one of these big fish. That's probably the fact that turned me from it more than anything else, because I never thought about it that way.
That does make a little bit of sense when you think about it.
I can't remember which one, but he said that in one of his videos about the contaminants, and man, that kind of made me stop and think, like,
yeah, I've heard that a lot. I've heard that a lot too. A couple of my spots here too, and you remember I fish in kind of a heavy urban area where people have nice lawns and stuff. I do worry about like fertilizers leaching into the water and stuff. So yeah, I keep mine to a minimum, but I eat barbecue too, so I mean, they say that's not any good for you. So having fish once a month isn't going to kill you either. That's just my personal opinion. So.
No. I mean, if the fish were that contaminated, I don't think I'd have lived to be 39.
Yeah, probably. Chunky wants to. Chunky says you have a beautiful kitchen and is asking who designed it.
Let me think for a second. Buccaneer Mobile Homes. That's who
designed it.
It's a big double wide. Yes, that's who designed it. So you can give them credit for that.
There you go. Let me see. Yeah, Chris is a good dude, definitely. Getting ready for Sunday.
Okay, he's a good dude.
Oh, and Andrew's talking about catfish in a smoker. I haven't had smoked catfish up until like 2 years ago.
I forgot about that. In fact, that was kind of the whole point of why Dad came with us in that last video that I did when we were fishing with him. He wanted those little small ones. Again, my dad loves whole fish.
Whole fryers.
It insults him to eat fillets. I'm telling you, I grew up eating whole fish, and that's what he wanted. He wanted some small fish to cut whole and put in that smoker. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, good stuff. I keep, actually those small ones are my favorite. I don't keep, like I said, I don't keep many fish unless they're crappie. The salmon runs, when I fish salmon, that's all from shore, so they're coming in to spawn and die. If I get on them early enough, they're still chrome. I'll cook them normal. If not, I'll smoke them. Other than that, that's pretty much all I kind of keep. Every now and then I'll keep some bluegills and stuff, some bigger sized ones. So
yeah, I got you.
But I do like them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what else we have here. Muskrat agrees smoked fish is awesome. Oh, that's another thing. I love smoked trout. We have, stocker trout season here too, so we'll do that this fall. That's another one I've been trying to do. Actually, I had like 20 trout in my freezer, like whole ones. And my mom had been over like 3 times over the summer, and they're gone. She keeps helping herself on the way out the garage to a pack of trout. So God bless her. So let her have them.
But around here it's kind of the same thing with especially that good catfish out of the river, because they're so much better tasting when you catch them out of that current like that. They're cleaner, I find. That's just as good as cash money around here.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I have traded a lot of people different things for catfish, and especially my brother. My brother will call me and say, "Hey, I got to get some stuff from some people. They want to trade me some catfish. We need to go fishing." Okay, load it up. Let's go.
Andrew says he always wanted to try his northern fish, like walleye and stuff. Walleye's awesome.
Yeah,
Andrew.
I really think that's one of the few things that we don't have around. We don't have walleye. We don't have. Is it sauger?
Sauger is like a smaller version.
Yeah,
of
I don't even know how to pronounce it. And to my knowledge, we don't have trout either. That's about the only. Well, we have speckled trout down in the Gulf.
Trout.
Yeah, because where our fishing spots are. If you would just take off down the river 170 miles, you'll be in the Gulf. But believe it or not, we get a few saltwater fish in our area every now and then. I posted to Chad's Facebook, we caught what's called a sailtail catfish a week or two ago. I didn't think we had that. The commercial fishermen actually catch 1 or 2 bull sharks every year. They come up. Yeah, they come up into the freshwater after a while. I think their bladder holds saline or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I'm just recalling from what I read in a Jeremy Wade book, which was pretty interesting, actually. Yeah, I've even been told by one of the old commercial guys that whenever the river gets really low, they'll actually catch blue crab right here under the bridge, close to my house. They'll come up river that far.
I agree with you, Betty. I do like walleye, but I do like crappie a little better. You know what I like just as much as crappie, Betty? I like perch, not like the kind you're thinking of, like yellow perch here off the Great Lakes, where they're they get to be like the jumbos. They get to be like 12 inches. Those are really good, especially cooked whole. I had a question here I don't want to lose.
Okay.
That popped up. For 1 ton says they don't hibernate. We fish. I'm jealous.
No, we don't. In fact, I'm pretty positive that the yellow cat in our area, they don't hibernate. The water doesn't get cold enough.
I don't I've said this in a couple of live streams. I know where there's a spot on the Fox where they're piled in there like cordwood in the winter, and I go nowhere near it. I found that spot once. I'm like, okay, I'm not going back here. I don't need anybody seeing me snooping around over there because I know I fished the river hard. So I just leave them rest. Frog legs. How about frog legs?
Okay. See, here goes Kevin being a bad influence. See, he's talking about all the good foods that we're not supposed to eat. But
I'm so hungry. I love frog legs, man.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could have some keto wings, right, Kevin? You ever have those? Those are pretty good.
Yeah. Did they make keto frogs? Yeah, we can go catch some keto.
Yeah,
frogs.
I'm sure if you cook them without breading, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Seriously, but if you're willing to eat them that way, why not?
Hey, why not?
The sail fins, I hear those were disqualified from the tournament.
Yeah, we caught 27 fish that day, and One was that sailtail. In fact, it was the last fish of the day. We caught that one sailtail. And don't you know, I put that on Chad's Facebook, and he's like, nope, nope, not doing it. I said, well, look, hey, if you can't beat them, ban them. You know, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I got a couple of bullhead spots. They might not be as big as yours, but I can get some pretty big numbers. I hear you catch some pretty big bullheads down by you. Was that you or was that somebody else talking in chat?
No, that must have been somebody else. We call those polywog around here.
Polywog? Okay.
I've never seen a polywog over about 3 pounds, 2-3 pounds.
Yeah, that's big. That's
well, okay,
that's big.
And you see the channels. In my experience, the channel cats don't get very big around here. At least I've never caught them big. The few channel cats I've caught have been 2 pounds, maybe.
Yeah, that's because the bigger fish are eating them.
Oh, yeah,
I'm hoping to get a.
Here.
And Palmetto Cat says use almond flour. Yeah, I've had plenty of stuff with mallet counters. So.
Okay.
All right, we got look who's here. Look who's joined us today. What's up, buddy? How are you, Chad?
Oh, Mr. Second Place himself.
Well, I hear you in here talking about all these special fish that you got, and how you're one of the few that I had to change rules for. So I thought I'd stop by.
Hey, let me tell you something. I went today to Cabela's and I bought some new hooks just for you. Just for you. I got something just for you.
You need my address? You sending them to me?
No. I got something just for you. Because when I'm going to throw that big old bait with that 12-aught hook on it,
there you go.
Fish up in front of that live camera, that's going to be just for you, buddy.
I am looking forward to it, and I hope everybody else is too. We're
Absolutely.
We're 11 hours away from the kickoff of this tournament.
Oh, I know. So, I know. It is. This is going to be. I have a feeling it's going to end up like some other live shows that the fish catching won't even matter. The subject matter and the conversations are going to be plenty of entertainment for everybody.
Absolutely.
You know what? Do it. Did anybody take any bets?
I have not seen any bets, but it's still early. I mean,
we are a gambling state. I am not above. I'm not above it.
I don't know what the rules for online gambling is. I mean, hey.
I think I did see Dockery's name go by here real quick early. Sorry if I didn't say hello to you, Jim. How are you, James? Sorry you can't fish it, but now the last place. I'm thinking about maybe placing some bets on who finishes last.
Oh,
that'd be interesting. I mean, I'm not going to throw any names out there, but maybe like Palmetto.
Oh,
yeah.
How can you be so mean to Anna? I think Anna's
yeah, but look, I got a feeling Anna's gonna be his good luck charm.
I think so
I'm
too.
not gonna bet money against him.
Maybe that's what we should have placed the bets on: is how many catfish the women catch versus the men. Because I got a feeling there's a lot of us going to get outfished.
Probably. I get outfished every time I go fishing. Every time, because I'm always letting everybody grab the rods. That's why I have the smallest PB of the whole family.
Maybe we should have like a parsed out and list, which wife caught more than which husband and so forth. Or do you think that'd cause too many empty beds or half-empty beds at the end of the night?
Better get the doghouse.
I might have to keep track of some things now that we're talking about this.
I got all sorts of ideas. We could really make this interesting for some people.
Oh, yeah.
Me, I'm just sore because I'm not fishing it. So I'm going to get all you guys in trouble from this. Just so I feel.
So you can stand on the sidelines and talk smack, and you're not risking anything. See, at least all the smack I've been talking, I got to try to back it up.
Right. I mean, it's okay. It's okay, Mark, that your wife won't let you fish. It's okay. The rest of us will be out there fishing. So. Creole, I didn't want to intrude, too much of your time here, but
go for it.
I just wanted to stop by. You all was talking about it, and Mark had, sent me the link, and I just wanted to, hop in here for a minute, say, just a few words. We started off kickoff tomorrow. Lines in the water at 8 a.m. Eastern, so We will start about 15 minutes early just to kind of go over any last minute rules or changes or anything like that, which there really isn't any changes, but just to reiterate maybe the rules to some folks that might not have read or been listening when we said them the first 12 times. So 8 a.m. tomorrow, we will be set up and ready to go. Tomorrow we have JP3, Stan Smith, Patriot, and Team Wampus Cats. Our fifth had to back out. His wife had to end up working, so he wasn't able to join us tomorrow. So, and then Sunday we have 6 teams: Creole Catfishing, Palmetto Cats, Muskrat, Catfish Headhunters, Ohio Catfish Chasers, and who was the 6th one? Oh, I just lost it.
Stamps.
JP?
Oh, that's right.
Was it?
I done lost who it was. I don't have my phone up. My phone's right here in front of me.
Oh.
But
well,
go to my channel. On the thumbnail for each day has the teams listed. So,
and I have a link to tomorrow's
name. You need to remember, right
there we go. Creole Catfishing. If somebody could put that link up in the chat, that'd be wonderful. I do have that link down in the description as well. We're going to see what we can do. We'll see how we're doing today. And if you could share this feed to help them out, that would be wonderful. If you guys ain't subscribed to them, get subscribed to them. If you know somebody to subscribe, get them to do so. Also, tomorrow when the tourney kicks off, I'll be over there. I'll be talking smack in the chat room. So if you guys aren't fishing, man, come in there. Come keep me company. At least I'd really appreciate it because I'm going to be lonely. Not fishing. I thought about fishing from the sidelines. The Angry Angler. That's my new nickname, right?
There you go.
I know a bunch of guys that fit that bill a little more than me, so that's good. Excellent. So anybody got any questions about the tournament while we have go ahead, Chad.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just going to say one more thing, and it's actually really not about the tournament. I know Palmetto Cats is watching, and I wanted to let him know that this hat is mine, pal.
Uh-oh. Is there a side bet or what?
Oh, no. I just noted he's eyeballing my
the green.
Beautiful green B&M hat.
That is nice.
It is.
Maybe I'm going to make like a green edition for St. Patrick's Day.
Hey, there you go.
Maybe we'll do that. And I can put it up for auction for a charity. I know somebody who might want to buy a green one.
There you go.
I don't know. Their fingers would have to be faster than D's on that bid site. So,
I don't know if I want to do that to you again, but I do definitely appreciate it. So, Palmetto says to do it. He's up for it. And Flatty Daddies. So what else is going on this weekend besides that? Anything? There's nothing else going on, is there? No.
There's nothing.
How are you holding up through all of this, Chad? You keeping it together? This is a big undertaking you took upon yourself.
I am hoping and praying to baby Jesus this works out.
It'll work fine. If you need any help, you got my number, and I'm sure anybody here in the chat room that'll help will be more than happy to help you pull this off, because I think it's really a great thing you're doing. Between this and Palmetto Cats doing with the awards, you guys are really taking it to the next level and further in the community. So trust me, it's appreciated by everybody who's here. So we're grateful for you.
Yeah,
that's the biggest reason why I wanted to have you on here, because I wanted to say thanks for doing all this stuff, buddy.
Not a problem. And speaking of awards, Catfish Weekly gave me a call the other day, and he had some trophies laying around. So they are in the mail and being sent to me. I have contacted a local trophy shop to have all of the placards changed out. So hopefully I get a reply back. I talked to the lady on the phone. Hopefully I have them in time by the end of next week. If not, there will be awards sent out to the winners. And what I ended up doing is I'm going to end up doing the top 5 teams. We'll get a trophy. They will have the places on them. And I'm still torn on how to do the person who comes in last, because I have a feeling that several of you are not going to catch a fish.
Yeah, that could be rough, huh?
There's gonna be. I mean, I know we discussed that in one of the other chats. The numbers are floating somewhere between 3 and 5 couples that we're guessing are gonna skunk.
Mm-hmm.
Chad, I had a couple ideas. Maybe I'll message you after this so we can talk a little bit.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know how to split. I don't know how to split this one Dockery Award trophy to so many of you guys that won't catch it.
Get a sawzall out, cut it up, literally chop it up into 5 pieces and send everybody a piece of it.
Well, you know what's funny is I'm sitting here smacking these gums, talking trash, and how many live streams have I done now that I have not caught a single fish live?
Fish or camera shot?
Yeah, you're not kidding.
They are.
You are not kidding. I don't know what it is.
I cannot catch one over 25 pounds on camera. I can't. Off camera, no problem. The cameras are on, nope.
I have a tip. I have a word of advice for you, a special tip. Mm-hmm. You need to wrap it in camo duct tape. They can't see it.
Really? I
maybe,
might have to do that.
That may be what I'm doing wrong.
Maybe.
Gentlemen, you think in 100 feet of water they can see that camera on my boat?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely have to.
They can smell it.
yeah, maybe.
I'm going to jump off here, fellas.
All right, Chad.
That way Creole can have his spotlight, and I will see you soon, my friend.
Thank you for stopping by and sharing that information. It's always a pleasure to have you. Good luck tomorrow. Give me a holler out. I'm always happy to help.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Later, Chad.
Oh, that was awfully nice of you for sharing some of that time with Chad, but I think you're going to be in it tomorrow, so it's going to be a good deal.
If it wouldn't be for Chad, we wouldn't be having all this fun. I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to be a heck of a thing. And yeah, I didn't think about that either until he mentioned it. If there's going to be a bunch of people that don't catch fish, not that they're, that's bad or to go unexpected, but that's going to be something. I'm sure he'll figure it out.
It's going to happen. I mean, that hopefully not here. Hopefully I can fish.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, I've got to back up all the smack I've been talking.
I was going to travel if I could have talked my wife into it. I was going to travel up north about 3 hours to go fish, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. Maybe I thought about going back up there and fishing anyways, but like I said, my trolling motor's out. I see Anna's in the house. Hi, Anna. Make sure you guys check out Little Buckets of Sunshine channel as well. If you like gardening and more good food, who doesn't like food? We've been talking about it half the show here. So, LG Bass, I don't know if I said hello to you, but hello, sir. So what else you want to talk about? This is your time.
Well, I know some people ask me about like kind of where we fish, and I don't give a lot of details about the area we fish, but if you were to look at it on a map, the Mississippi River follows the east side of Louisiana, and then right where we call it the boot kicks off to the east.
Right.
That's the point where they have a massive lock and dam structure that takes 30% of everything that comes down the Mississippi and dumps it into the Atchafalaya River.
Okay.
And then that runs through the basin out through the Gulf. And also the Red River comes from northwest Louisiana, comes down and meets up with the Atchafalaya all at that same point. That's what we call Three Rivers. That's the area we fish. And one of my tournament spot, I'm going to call it, I'm basically just across a massive gate from the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River is across the gate from where we're going to be fishing. So if I skunk, I cannot say it's a bad spot. I cannot blame it on the fishing spot. I promise you. If I skunk, my fault right here.
I like the way you think.
Because I refuse to believe that I'm good at this. I just think that the area we fish is just that good. There's that many fish. I'm going to throw a lot of luck into it. That's where we're at.
Again, I think you're a little better than you're making yourself out to be. So you just keep at it, and tomorrow, hopefully, all things will go right and the stars will align, and you'll get yourself a monster. Maybe you get that big shovel head. Or did you hear that, Betty?
I'm gonna say it for her. Shovel head.
Shovel head.
When I hear shovel head, I think of a big spoonbill. You know, a paddlefish, which we have massive ones in the river too.
That's what I thought at first when I first saw her call it a shovel head, and then I thought about it for a minute. So I'm like, what's spoonbill have to do with any of this?
And those are actually good to eat, you know.
That's what I hear. I've heard mixed reviews and stuff. I know I've seen I'm a big fan of the Meat Eater podcast and television show. And one of my favorite episodes is where he goes catfishing with a gentleman named Kevin Murphy down in I think it's in Kentucky. He's a pretty famous squirrel hunter down there, raises a lot of squirrel dogs and such. And they were showing how they clean a spoonbill and that how they just pull the cord right out. That kind of blew me away. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
A spoonbill has a very similar body structure to a shark. It really doesn't have a skeletal structure. It's all cartilage.
Cartilage.
The only bone it has is the backbone. So you take your knife, you wring the tail to the backbone, break the bone on the tail, and you pull
it straight out.
Cord out just like you pulling the bone out of a squirrel tail.
So what's that taste like?
I find it has a texture very similar to alligator gar. It kind of has a little bit of a tough, little bit of a stringy texture. Doesn't taste fishy at all if you eat it fresh.
Okay.
The only thing bad about spoonbill is whatever you don't eat right then and there, get rid of it. It gets very greasy if it's left over.
Okay.
But it has the taste somewhere between gar and alligator. It's like a chickeny kind of taste. It's actually pretty good.
I've had alligator. I've never had gar. That's one of the things that I haven't had a chance to try.
Oh, gar is probably my favorite fish to eat. Good.
Really?
Alligator gar is one of my favorites. Yes, a
lot of my friends that I had worked with down there, they were always talking about like gar cakes and gar balls they would make with them. They always like them. My mom used to do the same thing with like salmon and stuff. So it sounds interesting.
All you do, you take the meat, make a meatball with it, brown it up, and same thing. You're making a gravy with it with those big, boulettes we call them, but the big meatballs.
Okay,
that's one of my favorite things.
Good stuff. This should be Fish and Food Talk today. We should have called this episode. Chad says spoonbills are the catfish, so they do not count. He wanted to make sure you saw that. No spoonbills for tomorrow's contest.
Well, they will not bite a hook, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Unless I bring one of my big treble hooks, you don't have to worry about it.
You know, Ryan, also known as Said Hooks, I've seen him on one of Jonathan's videos. He actually got one tied up in his lines. He managed to get one like that. It was kind of the coolest thing I've seen in a while. So a lot of that stuff.
We used to accidentally hook them all the time when we used to snag. And it's funny how when we used to snag, we could tell what kind of fish it was the second we would get a hook in it. How it would pull. Those spoonbill, you get a hook in them, you swear you hooked a truck going down the interstate.
Really?
It takes off running. It will peel drag. It will destroy a reel. It ruined a very nice Ambassador 6500 that I had years ago.
Wow. Well, you figure they're filter feeders, right?
Yeah, they are. That's
so
right.
When they're paddling, they have their big mouths open like a sail. So that's got to build some muscle in that hind section and that tail. That's got makes for a strong fish.
If you can stand that first run, then they're dead in the water after that. They tire out easy. But that first run, if you want to find out how good a drag on a reel is, hook a spoonbill with it. It will test your equipment big time.
We used to. I haven't been snagging for a long time here in the Chicago area. One of the Lincoln Park Lagoon. It's right by Lincoln. Is the zoo over there? I don't know, but it's a lagoon where they release a lot of salmon. 4 years later, they come back to breed. Well, they're hybrids, so they can't breed. So they go there and die. So in this one lagoon, they allow snagging just to keep it from getting all.
Try to keep the population down.
Not the population down, but to get rid of the fish before they die and they rot. And they smell that whole part of the city out because they're going there to breed and die, even though they can't breed, so they're just going to die. So they allow snagging in this one part of it, which makes sense. So it's been a while since I've done it. I think they're actually trying to stop that because I think some of the biologists I'm not going to get into that because I'm not quite sure. I've heard so many different.
And like I said, we quit snagging years ago because, we did it for a little bit of meat, but it's no sport in it.
No,
there's no sport in it, and besides that, it's if you don't have a good back, don't do it.
Look, everybody's talking food in chat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Cajun comes out when I'm talking food to you.
My wife always accuses me of when I don't do it on purpose, but she says when I'm talking to other people, I purposely soften my accent, and it's a reaction. But she says when I talk about food, my accent comes out.
It's the same way. I have a Chicago / Polish family accent. When I get relaxed and stuff, or when I'm happy or mad or whatever, it changes just like anybody else. Nothing wrong with that. It's been a delight talking to you. So I have no complaints whatsoever. So you can let your wife know that it's nothing to be ashamed of. So
she's right there, 6 feet from me in the window, watching the show and then laughing at. Look, she's trying to make.
She's commenting too.
Only spoonbill on the.
Oh look! Looks like Betty has a favorite. The Ohio crew sticking together. Mm-hmm. Roger, have a good night, buddy. Good luck tomorrow.
They're sticking together. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I think I'm the only one from Louisiana. I'm almost sure of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else besides you that I know that fishes down there a lot. I know no, he's in Florida. Yeah, I think you're the first Cajun YouTuber
there's a couple of guys on YouTube that fish in my area, but I have never seen any of the guys like in our live shows and stuff that we do. In fact, one guy, he has a camp just down the river from where we fish. YouTube channel is called Father Slime.
Okay.
And he's got got a pretty good following. He fishes basically all the same spots we do. He's got a great video where he almost broke the state record blue. It was very close. The state record's 112, and I think his was 109.
Wow.
And he caught the whole thing on camera. In fact, he caught it all on camera. They went to a certified scale, weighed it. It fell a little bit short, and they released that fish 1,000 feet from where my tournament spot is. Yeah.
That's something. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We just had somebody catch an 8-pound Illinois state record smallmouth bass right here downtown Chicago on Lake Michigan. Wow. So the guy released it.
That was a fun fight.
Everybody's been going after this fish for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it should have. A lot of those trophy fish don't always make it when they're that size, but you never know. You don't know until they show.
That's one of my goals is I want the state record. I know they're in there. It's funny how Louisiana people are, especially in my area. I have personally seen blue cats caught in nets bigger than the state record. Much bigger.
I believe it.
They're in there.
They're in there.
Nobody wants to report them because nobody wants to know they're catching them.
Let's see what else we got.
It's a very secretive thing. I know they're in there. We just got to get a hook in them.
I'm just looking see if anybody has any more questions. I want to make sure that I take care of the gang here. So,
yeah, of course.
Talk to the chat. I'm trying to think. I think the record. We don't have any blues here. I think the record in the Fox River. I think it's 71 pounds, something like that.
Wow.
So it's pretty close. That's a big flathead for that river. I mean, you'll catch like 10 to 20 pounders. That isn't too bad. When you get into that like 25 pound plus, that's a good fish around here. I had the one I caught that was a monster. That's exceptional.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a nice fish.
I've been searching for that fish for so long, man. It's kind of bittersweet. It's like the chase really drove me really bad. So now I got to go for even a bigger one.
Well,
so that's going to be another.
It's like waiting on Christmas when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You build it up for 6 months, waiting for Santa to pass, and then all of a sudden, it's over. Christmas is over.
He's gone. But hopefully Christmas will come again.
but there's always a bigger one.
Next Christmas,
There's
right?
Always a bigger one.
We're gonna
Doesn't
call
matter
it.
how big somebody catches. If one got that big, there's another one that's a little bit bigger.
This year, I kind of changed my target fish. I wanted to get a bowfin. I wasn't able to get that. Do you guys have snakeheads down by you?
Not to my knowledge, no. But we do have bowfin. We call them shoe peak. We got a different name for everything. But yes, we do have massive shoe peak around here too, especially in the shallower water. During the summer, that shallow water gets really, really hot. The shoe peaks get in there chasing the brim.
Yeah, we'll have them here. The couple of times I went out, I'm seeing them popping air and eating on the top, and I just couldn't get them to bite.
We used to catch them, and we would actually, when there was nothing else biting, in the little bayas and borrow pits, when nothing else would bite, no brim, the shoe peak had ran them all off, we would take an old white H&H spinnerbait. The one that has the little double hook on the back that swivels.
Right.
Every cast. Catching those big shoot, they would tear up that white H&H, and they couldn't bend it and twist it up because the hook swivel.
Hooks were right.
A regular spinnerbait or shoe peak will destroy a spinnerbait, but not that H&H. It would hold up, and that's how we catch them.
Those are poison. What was it? Be just the two hooks with the opposing forces keep it from a
exactly. Yeah, you just put it on that little loop on the back, and we catch them in 3-4 feet of water. You can stand on the bank and watch them cruise through that shallow water. We'd throw that old H&H about 4 feet in front of them, and they would slam that thing every time.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Maybe next year. And then I was chasing my first blue cat too this year. I made 2 trips out. I wasn't about to get one. I'm not done yet, so I got all winter. Hopefully, I'll get out on Lake Springfield or one of the power lakes, or maybe over on LaSalle Lake very soon. So we'll see. I hook up with a couple of guys out there, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So you've never caught a blue cat?
No, I've been 4 times. I've been twice.
Have them in y'all area, I suppose.
We don't have them in our area.
Really?
We don't. Okay. No. We got 20, 30 pound channel cats, but we don't have any blue cats. It's just probably
I couldn't imagine a channel cat that big.
Up north of here, about
all around here.
In next May, Lyle and I were trying. Actually, it's Lyle's thing. I'm helping him out, trying to get an outing to Lake Mendota.
Right. Yeah. I remember talking about that.
That's Land of the Giants up there. I know Sutton Hooks has caught some close to 30 pounders here on the Fox. I mean, I got a 14 pounder, which is a big one. I think I lost one that might have been bigger than that just 2 weeks ago. I don't know if I'm gonna
talk in the streams about how hard those channel cats pull. And how hard they fight when they get that big.
Yeah, even when they're not even. I mean, anything over 10 pounds. Let's see. I got a 10 pounder on an ice rod, one of them small Whisker Sheikah rods.
Yeah.
And that thing actually was like kind of shaking so violently and so hard. I felt it like in my wrist for like the next day. You know, it's just a lot of jerking, a lot of pulling, but they're heck fight. They're fun.
It's a really aggressive fighting fish. They put up. It's amazing.
Especially on a short rod like that, there's no rod there to take up any of the slack. So, you're doing it all.
Exactly.
This year,
when I was growing up, when me, my dad, my little brother was too little way back then, but when we would all go tight lining off of the bank to try to catch goo, not often, but every now and then we would get a nice yellow cat. Because the yellow cat around here, they love a big live crawfish. If the goo don't get to it first, you'll get a yellow cat on it. And I remember one time in particular, they had parked an old damaged barge right against the bank. And Dad took my little Zebco rod, my little 33, and hauled this big old live crawfish out by that barge. And I remember that drag screaming on that 33. And it was about an 8-10 pound yellow cat. And right before we got him to the bank, the line rubbed on a rock and it broke. But to me, that was the most exciting thing.
Cherokee Lake is like the sister lake, I believe, of Lake Mendota up there in Madison, Wisconsin. Lyle caught a 29.9 pound channel cat up there. That's a beast, Lyle. I hope to get something in the 20s when we go up there. I'm really looking forward to that.
I didn't know channel cats got that big until I started listening to y'all talk about it.
Yeah, they get pretty big up north in the Root. I think it's the Root River too, where Northwest Angling fishes. Luke, he's a good guy. He nails them up there, and he's got it hard. He's got a 1-pull limit up there, and they can't use like bluegills or anything. All they use is either cut bait. I don't even know if he uses cut bait. I know he uses bullheads a lot bait.
Really?
That's rough, and he does good. He's been doing that for a while. I see Robert Chance in the house. Hey, Robert, how are you, my friend? Hopefully you're feeling okay. He was feeling a little under the weather, so I wanted to make sure to wish him well. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. I'm not sure how long you've been in here, but I'm very grateful to see you.
I ain't gonna lie. In Louisiana, like as far as regulations go, we can almost do whatever we want. It's pretty close. We don't have any rod limits. We don't have any hook limits like per line. We really don't have any bait restrictions. As long as you catch whatever you're using for bait legally, you can use it.
You can use it.
Like to use brim, anything like that.
Crappie or whatever.
Game fish, you got to catch it on a rod and reel.
Right.
But
can you use cast nets for like rough fish and shad and stuff?
Yes. We can throw. Louisiana has the law. The max radius cast net is 8 foot 6 inches.
8 foot 6 inches.
So I'll throw a 8 foot 1 inch mesh. I think mine's 1.25 pounds, 1.5 pounds lead per foot.
I mean, I learned the hard way. I need to get a bigger mesh net because I do usually pretty good with the shad. But one day I just got onto a huge cloud of minnows. I pulled out. It looked like a Christmas tree. Every one of them little lights. It was horrible. It was a bad day. Too bad, all that weight went to all that bait went to waste too. So
my 1 inch. I know in my 1 inch mesh net, I will gill a 6 inch gizzard shad. Okay. It'll gill it. Like it's just anything over 6 inches. I've got it in the net, which we have really, really big gizzard shad.
We don't.
Gizzard shad over 12 inches long.
We'd have to. I'd have to go a little smaller than that, but I forget the one I have, but I have like the smallest one. I use a cheap old Walmart one. I think it's a Phytech, but off the banks because I go through at least one a year. I'm not willing to spend the money on an expensive one. So if I'm looking for shit off the
I lost a couple of nets because I didn't know any better. Throwing in the rocks, throwing in sticks. I lost a few cheap ones. Now that I've learned where to throw my net not to lose it, I stepped up just a little and I got the Ultra Spreader, which is it's about $120 net, but it's not the most expensive, not the cheapest, but it's when you step up to the better net, you do notice the difference in how it throws. I will say that. I have a net similar to that I keep in my boat that I won't throw off the shore. I'll leave it on the boat so I can see what's underneath me with the sonar and stuff. I'm not throwing into a brush pile or anything. So I'm not willing to. That's how I've lost 3 nets in the past is throwing it off a bank that I didn't know what I was throwing at, and I've gone waiting for a net many times.
You've actually gone in after them, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've done that. I've gone in after them, and I still couldn't get them out a couple of times. Mm-hmm. They came out shredded. I got as much out as I can to try and prevent it from being in there. So,
but a good tip with a cast net, and I learned that. I forget whose channel. It might have been Catfish and Carp. I was watching their channel, but on how to prep a cast net, he takes about a 40-quart ice chest, puts hot water in it with about 2 cups of fabric softener.
I've seen people do that, yeah.
Yeah, and man, it completely changes how the net throws.
Really? Maybe I'll have to try that. I don't use that big a net, so I might not have to do that, but I'd be willing to give it a try. I ordered the last net, the net I lost this year, so I met my quota already for this year. Walmart was out of the cheap nets, so I ordered one online, and I accidentally hit the button and ordered one that was nylon rather than monofilament.
I tried that.
I can't throw that for nothing. Holy smokes. I ended up ordering a second one, so I got this one sitting in my garage. I might try it again. We'll see. Maybe off the boat if I'm fishing this shallow water. This one place I fish channel cats off the river. So,
yeah, see, that's my plan for tomorrow afternoon. I got a good little spot that I know I can throw my cast net off the bank and not get it hung up. And I know that I got some good shad in there, so I'm going to try to go cast maybe some shad. See if I can catch me some slicker off the bank and have my bait ready for Sunday. That way I don't have to worry about it.
Nothing like waiting until the last minute. You know how many times I've done that? We're needing to go out and catch a bunch of bait and then get nothing, man. Hopefully it won't happen to you, but I've been in that position.
It's to try to keep it fresh. You know, especially shad. Once it's on ice for 24 hours, I don't do good on it.
You know, when I'm using bullheads or suckers or bluegill, you know, if they've been in my bait tank for longer than like 3 or 4 days, I'll use them or I'll put them back where I caught them.
Yeah.
I feel they're tired from not, you know, maybe if I fed them more, but I'm not going to pay for minnows to feed them.
Yeah.
I can't get them really to eat. For some reason, they won't eat worms off the bottom of my tank. I don't know. It's a long story.
If you've got to buy bait to feed your bait, that's not good.
That's not right. You know, I thought about, you know, I tried feeding them some dog food and stuff. They won't even eat that stuff. So I tried everything.
They're stressed. They're not going to eat it all, probably.
Yeah, Betty, I hope you guys can make it. I'd love to see you guys out there. Lyle goes through 3 nets a year, man. He ain't messed around. That's a lot.
I don't have that kind of budget. Yeah.
Well, drown a woman.
Hey, I feel her pain on that one. About the 3rd time I threw that nylon net, it decided to make a knot around my foot, and I was already standing in some shad slime. So, yes, I know exactly what she's talking about.
Better your foot than around your neck. I've seen one video online where the guy got it caught around his neck. Here
we go with the chicken.
We're gonna eat chicken on Sunday. You know what? I'm gonna try. You know, Palmetto. You're gonna make me try that chicken. You know that, don't you? I've been fighting it so hard, but you keep talking it up. I'm gonna have to try it. Have you tried it?
I am guilty. I will be the first one to tell you that I laughed at the idea of using Jello chicken. It has made a believer out of me.
Really?
Now, in my body of water, can't speak for anybody else. If that water is deeper than 30 foot, I will not catch a fish on it. It is for me, it is a shallow water bait. I don't know why when you put it in that deeper water, I don't know what it is. I cannot get a bite on it in over 30 foot of water.
When we were down fishing the Caskia with Avid and a couple of guys, I was talking to Jason Lamb down there, and we're just kind of looking at each other going, man, you know what? Everybody says it works. It's not that we don't believe them, but we're just like these stubborn old bait purists. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have to, you know, swallow my pride and give it a shot just because Palmetto says it's there.
I even said it in that last video I did with Dad. You know, we caught a bunch of fish that day, and we had all kinds of fun. And towards the end of the day, I'm looking at Dad on camera, and he didn't know I had the camera rolling. I said, Dad, what you think Papa would think about some Jello chicken? And boy, he just hung his head, shook his head. I said, man, he's smiling down, laughing at us, using some Jello chicken for bait. But you know what? It put fish in the boat. I guess it's only stupid if it doesn't work.
You know, people put garlic in worms. You know how you get those garlic-infused worms?
Yeah.
My grandfather used to do that. He would dig up worms in the backyard, put them in his little coffee can, and then he'd put like he'd walk over to his garden, pick out whole cloves of garlic, crush them in his hand with some stuff and throw it right in there, and he would get carp and catfish like crazy with those.
Look,
it would work.
If it works, it works. Don't argue with it.
So maybe we'll try something like that, but that's something he used to do. Yeah, Palmetto says he has video evidence. I'm gonna have to make a video about that next year. Maybe we'll see. It's gonna take some pride swallowing.
Yeah,
but we'll do it. I don't doubt him at all, but still.
I still get laughed at for using it by people that I know. But when I come home and I'm cleaning a live well full of fish, they don't laugh. So what do you do?
Yeah, Avid tried chicken thighs. Maybe you needed to try chicken breasts. Papa used to use pork rinds. You know, for bass, they used to sell those Uncle Bucks, those ones in the jars. I used to use them when I was a kid, and they worked fantastic.
If I had $1 for every bass Papa caught using an old Uncle Josh pork rind,
yeah, Uncle Josh, that's it.
Retired.
Yeah. It got to a point where one time I was out of it, so I cut a slab off this Danish bacon that my grandfather had. It was smoked, and I put it right back in the jar. When he saw that, man, he went through the roof. I think he threw a shovel at me that day when he was out digging worms. That was a long story, but that's my grandfather for me.
I'm going to have to get my dad back on camera and start eventually letting him tell some stories about when he was growing up.
See, that's awesome.
With my grandfather.
I have a fond place or a special place in my heart to hear stories like that and tell stories like that, where people come from and how, fishing's evolved in one's life. It was
such a different time. My grandfather grew up during the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
He fought in World War II, served our country, and then he was injured, then came home, and then got back to fishing. Big time bass fisherman. In fact, you will find this interesting. He thought a sac-a-lait was a trash fish. when one would bite his hook, he would play with it and whip the rod to try to get the hook out of its mouth.
You're trying to get the hook out of its mouth? Yeah, because I got those paper mouths. That's pretty easy to do. Well, here, my grandfather used to eat carp all the time. I remember when I was a kid, one of the things that I've said this before, so I'll go over it real quick. One of the Polish Eastern European traditions on Christmas Eve is it's meatless. And one of the big things and one of the special things is carp. And the way they cook it is what they call Greek style and tomato sauce with whole cloves of garlic, bunch of salt and pepper and stuff. And they steak it up, skin it, steak it up, put it in there. And everybody would rave about it. I would never touch this stuff. I'd be busy eating.
We eat buffalo ribs around here.
Yeah. Here's another thing. Buffalo carp. I was just reading a big long article, and I also heard a podcast that they caught a big old buffalo that was, I think, like 25 pounds, and they carbon dated or they dated the bones, and those fish are like 112 years old when they get that big. Yep.
Really?
That's how come. Yep. That's how long it takes them to get that big, and that's how come they're kind of so hard to catch now because they were overfished. And Google it, look into it. It's really interesting. I brought this up to James Dockery. He said he was going to look at it a little bit because I know he's really into the buffalo fishing. That's definitely something I'd like to try. I'd like to try some, the ribs off the buffaloes. They sound really good too. That's something
they do that a lot around here. I've eaten it once. It's pretty good. It's better than what I thought it was going to be. But that's a big deal. You can go in any of the fish markets around home and get buffalo ribs.
Interesting. So that was definitely going to come down there. Trying to see what else we got. Papa under General Patton.
Second Armed Division under Patton. That's right. Yeah, he was
very cool.
He wouldn't talk about the war much, but he was very, very proud to serve. He was a truck driver, and he served under Patton. Very, very proud of that. The little bit he would talk about it.
Yeah, my grandparents didn't. My grandmother would talk about it because they lived there during the Second World War when Poland was overthrown. Yeah. So my grandmother was the only one that talked about it. My grandfathers, they didn't say much about it except that
he wouldn't either.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to wish you luck. I want to say thank you as well for coming on. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun.
It has been such an honor. I can't even begin
mine
to
as well.
You how much fun this was.
Might as well. I hope everybody in chat enjoyed the episode. Michael Morales talking about smoked carp. I'll take a look at that in a second. I appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you again for being my guest. Good luck in the tournament. I'll be watching. I'm going to be rooting for everybody out there pretty much equally. I might give Chad a little some business, maybe Palmetto some business. Oh, and Palmetto, you have to forgive me. I don't know if I remember to mention this. Congratulations on being on the on Dieter Melhorn's podcast. If you guys listen to Dieter Melhorn or any podcast, check it out. It was a nice hour-long interview with Kevin regarding the awards and where he got started and stuff. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed Dieter's podcast, so that's definitely something you guys should check out. Right. So I might add the link to there if I could figure out how to do it. You can find it on the Apple Store, I believe. I'm not sure if Stitcher has it and all that stuff. I'm sure if you contact or look on Dieter I think Palmetto's has it listed on his Facebook page, probably a link to the podcast. So I would go there and check it out. Laura, thank you for being here.
I end my chats, I end my videos all the same way. I always tell everybody bon pêcher, which is Cajun French for good fishing.
Good fishing. Amen. Have a great day. All right, everybody. Thank you. Have a great night. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll talk to you later. Good luck to all of you guys in the tournament. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you later.